Once upon a quiet winter morning, on the edge of a frozen lake, there rested a small piece of ice. It had been there for as long as it could remember, cold, still, and proud of its shape. Around it, the world was silent. The trees were sleeping, and the wind whispered only now and then. The ice often looked at its reflection and thought, "I am strong. I am whole. I am perfect, just the way I am." It didn't know that deep beneath its solid surface, a quiet longing was waiting, the longing to feel something more than stillness. Days passed, and the ice began to notice the sun rising higher each morning. The light felt warmer, softer, and it reached across the frozen lake like a gentle hand. At first, the ice ignored it. Then, one day, it felt the touch of warmth on its surface, a sensation both new and terrifying. "No," whispered the ice. "Please don't come closer. If I melt, I'll vanish." The sun only smiled, its rays calm and kind. "You won't vanish, little one. You'll just change." But the ice didn't believe it. All it had ever known was its frozen self, and anything else felt like death. As the sun rose higher, a tiny droplet formed on the edge of the ice. It glistened in the morning light, beautiful but also painful. The ice tried to hold itself together, tried to stay strong. But the droplet slipped away, falling into the lake below with a small sound like a sigh of release. And in that moment, the ice felt something it had never felt before, a strange sense of relief. It whispered to itself, "That wasn't so bad. Maybe change isn't the end." The next day, the sun returned. It spoke softly as if to an old friend. "Why do you fear to melt?" the sun asked. The ice hesitated. "Because if I melt, I'll lose myself. I'll no longer be who I am." The sun shone a little brighter. "Who you are is not the shape you hold. Who you are is the essence beneath, and that essence cannot be lost." The ice was silent. No one had ever told it that before. No one had ever said that change could be a kind of freedom. As the sun's warmth deepened, the ice began to soften not by force, but by acceptance. It realized that every droplet leaving its body wasn't a loss, it was a return to something greater. Bit by bit, the ice surrendered. It no longer resisted the warmth. It began to melt slowly, gracefully, like a soul finally exhaling. Now part of it was water, dancing gently around the edges of the lake. It could move, flow, touch. It was no longer trapped. The ice looked at its reflection again, but now there was no shape to admire, only ripples, only light, and yet it felt more alive than ever before. The lake embraced it. The sky mirrored it. And for the first time, it didn't need to be perfect. It just needed to be. The ice, or rather, the water whispered to the sun, "Now I understand. Melting wasn't dying. It was becoming whole." The sun smiled. "Yes," it said softly, "sometimes we must lose our form to find our truth." The water shimmered in gratitude. It knew that nothing was truly lost. It had only changed shape, from stillness to flow, from fear to freedom. Sometimes we are like that ice. We hold on too tightly to the things we think define us, our past, our image, our fears. But life keeps shining like the sun, inviting us to melt, to let go, to flow, to return. Because letting go doesn't mean losing. It means remembering who you were, long before the world told you who to be. When the ice finally melted, it didn't disappear, it became part of everything it once longed to touch. If this story touched your heart, share your thoughts below and subscribe to Quiet Soul Tales, where every story is a gentle breath of peace.